YouTube? This is your girl Michelle. Some of you who know me as Layla. I want to bring up for today about something in about Warframe and the exact reasons what's going on with Warframe. Now, here's the thing. I had a very nice, interesting conversation with a friend of mine, a fellow gamer, who I've been talking to a lot. One of my fellow gamer friends. So within about 100 and within about 150 days of my video game playing, let me let the phone finish ringing so I can say this. So anyways, in the course of my 150 something days of playing Warframe, and I've noticed that there's a lot of tryhard gamers out there who play Warframe, and I had this very interesting topic to a good friend of mine, a very, very good friend of mine who plays Warframe, a couple actually, and they pretty much told me the outcome that when you have tryhards on Warframe, they ruin the video game experience for everybody else. And what I mean by that, they're more busy about building other Warframes, setting up mod stats, you know, trying to jack up their thing where they see stuff on other people who play Warframe who actually do these live televised, and sometimes they follow the exact same patterns, that these people did on YouTube. But the majority of what goes on, as far as like the PC users pretty much they hack into stuff, and there's certain YouTubers on on YouTube that feed people the misinformation of. For an example, my friend said that he saw a video on YouTube and pretty much had said that he saw a person use Octavia. Now, some of you people out there who play Warframe, or some of you who know about what Octavia really is about, and then you have the real idiots who don't know what Octavia is about, the real try-hard idiots who think they know everything about Warframe. Well, and the truth of the matter is, Octavia isn't really that of a DPS, which is one thing I'm going to get off here. I know some of you are going to disagree about it, but Octavia is more of a Bard Warframe, and what I mean by a Bard Warframe, pretty much gives heals, like melody tones, to give more of a buff. Just not too much, but just a plenty enough buff. Small heal, not really small heals, but pretty much more buffs for higher damage ratio, and stuff like that. And some of the veteran Warframe players who may have experienced the same thing I've been noticing is you have too many tryhards. You got people who really don't know anything about Warframe, who are standardized YouTubers who actually show certain things of Warframe and how to build Octavia as a DPS, which is kind of a false thing, because to be perfectly honest, Octavia is not a DPS, and that's one thing I have to break down. Trinity is not a DPS. That's another thing there too. People think that she's a DPS, and the real case in point is Trinity isn't. There's some of you tryhards out there who think, oh, it's wonderful, Trinity's a DPS, she's awesome. Trinity's really not a DPS. She's actually more of a healer. DPS is more like Garuda, Siren, Valkyr. Certain Warframes. And you know, there's only a small amount of DPSs, and you have mostly tanks. Well, you know, like we have like Rhino, which I never use certain warframes. I've been always using female warframes. I have a couple of guy warframes. I got like Haro and stuff, but I don't use either one of them. I'm more of a female DPS kind of gal, and I also use Trini at times, not very much. My main character is Garuda, obviously, and what I feel that I'm getting at here, when you have a tryhard who's trying to make something OP, like for like Octavia or Trinity, it never really works out very well because tryhard people don't really enjoy the game very much, and they don't really. At that point, if you are playing Warframe and you're a tryhard, there are people who are too much of a tryhard when they try to use Garuda, but you know, for an example, like I've seen people try to use Garuda, but they can't use it very well. And if you don't know the Warframe's capabilities, limits, or caps, or whatever the case may be, then Warframe, for any tryhard is a word I always like to use for people who think that they can try to do something with a particular Warframe. They know they're going to keep trying to take it apart, rebuild it up again. You're going to, pretty much you're going to repolarize. You're going to keep polarizing, but the thing is, even though it's good to polarize your Warframe, but it's bad to do certain things to certain Warframes that don't really belong. I could see things like, okay, you got Valkyr, you can use, pretty much you can use the DPS to shit out things. You have Garuda, the new character that came out, which is Baruch, which I generally tend to not say very much about Baruch because I think Baruch, really, in my personal opinion, is not something I would feel like I could use. But that's just my own thought. The other thing, when you use particular Warframes, I know people have actually have picked on about Excalibur Umbra. I actually ran him once or twice, and I found that Excalibur Umbra isn't that bad. You just gotta learn how to use them the right way. Same thing, it goes for Garuda. But if you can't use Excalibur Umbra, if a tryhard can't use Excalibur Umbra the right way, or Garuda the right way, then in my personal opinion, and maybe in a veteran of, you know, like a fellow Tenno veteran Warframe player would say the same thing, you have no business to be on Warframe, or have any business to play a character you think you're trying to mod the shit out of. I mean, for an example, like if you take, like you can do whatever you want. I mean, but the thing is, you know, everybody, I hear it all the time. You know, I've heard it from my friends that there's too many tryhards on Warframe. They're trying to do something they're not able to do. You know, you're following these people and these certain YouTubers on YouTube who are just going to tell you, yes, this is the way I did it for the exact build. But let me tell you something. There's some things they'll show you exactly how to build it, but there's some things they show you that there's some things they won't show you or tell you. You can follow them, you can follow their builds exactly the same, but you're not going to get the same damage ratio you're seeing on their videos. Why? Because they're lying to you about their builds. Trust me, any self-proclaimed YouTuber who shows you a really gas station way build, it doesn't fit in, it won't work. You know, you're going to see it on a video, say, oh, this is a wonderful idea, I think I'm going to run with, I think I'm going to run with that kind of build that you saw on YouTube. Come to find out, you do some kind of damage with it and it doesn't work. Well, that, my friend, is where you got ripped off on a particular YouTube video. I didn't want to speak truth about it. It's like I said, I've heard it from all my friends who've played Warframe, who've played it longer than I have, and they said that there's too many tryhards, too many new people who are trying even like some of you veteran warframers, and this is a big shame, shame, shame on you if you're one of those tryhards, because then you don't have a business to be playing Warframe. And my personal aspect, and some of my friends who have said the same thing, that if you're a tryhard, you might as well just hang this shit up and go play Fortnite. Because Fortnite is where all the tryhards are, and if you're a tryhard and you're playing Warframe, this is not the game for you. Well, everything else on that note, like I said, I've been playing for about 160 days of Warframe, and well, not 160, sorry, 150 days of Warframe. And what happens is I see it. I see a lot of tryhards trying to do something that they just can't do. You're trying to accomplish something that you saw it on, like I said, you just try to accomplish something that you saw on YouTube, you thought was a wonderful idea to build, but you also have the tryhards who can't make a, they can't make a Warframe capable, for them. I mean, I've seen, how do I put this? I've seen friends of mine build and level up Warframes, max out whatever they could do to make max damage, whatever the case may be, but then realize they get upset because now they have to take it all apart, then they have to redo it, they gotta do this, they gotta do that, and then when they follow the YouTube videos, they think it's a good idea. But the truth of the matter is, some people who do that, like for PC users, they have a different way of doing things. Everybody knows about the horror stories that PC users do by hacking, by just modding the shit out of it to the point where they're forcing the characters to do something they're not able to do. You're trying to break the damn game, and you take the fun out of it for everybody else. And that's all tryhards do. They take the fun out of it. So with that, on a note, and sorry if I'm speaking truthful about what I'm saying, but it's the God's honest truth. So yes, it does suck. It sucks for anybody who's new. You get a new player who just is Mastery Rank 0, who just started, and meanwhile, they're playing. And I know some people out there are like, oh, well, it's not our fault that, new people come on, and, and they're all getting, they quit Warframe. Well, it's people who are tryhards that make it very unsatisfactory for some who are trying to play it, and then their impressions of playing Warframe are like, you have too many tryhards, and you have too many toxic, you don't have too many toxic gamers, but you have too many tryhards and too many toxic, you have tryhards, and you also have toxic people. Not all are toxic, just a small portion on Warframe. So, anyways, on that note, it pretty much is what and how it's done, and I'll give you some personal advice, to end it off on a more of a better note. To the new 10-0 who are playing on Warframe, go by your instinct of what you want to put in for a mod. Don't really tell somebody who's a tryhard to tell you differently by saying that, oh, well, I think you should do it this way. Go by what your instincts tell you about how to build your Warframe the right way. Don't be a tryhard. Don't be that party pooper or that naked man that's doing a party foul, in the middle of like some awesome rave and stuff like that. And to be on a good note, just keep that in mind. I mean, Warframe is to be enjoyed, and and the developers of DE, those who are left, are pretty much, we have to really give them gratitude for making this game. I mean, eventually, once I know Anthem's out, and once people play Anthem more, then Warframe will end up becoming I mean, you're going to still see people playing, but probably not as much. So, on that note, please, if you happen to like this video, and if you find it any helpful about why, Trihards are doing what they're doing, please leave a comment below and leave a notification, click the subscribe button. And you can always follow me up on Twitter at Queen of Iron 362. I'm also followable on Twitch at Michelle362. So, I'm going to leave it off on that note. And till then, this is your girl saying peace, love, and happiness. Don't be a tryhard. Work towards your actual goal as a 10-0 and build your 10-0 the way you need to build it. So anyways, I'm going to say peace, love, happiness, and I will check you later.